Good evening, this is Left, Right and Centre. I'm Nidhi Razdan. They say the road to Delhi is through Lucknow, and that is why next year's election in Uttar Pradesh is so important. The Prime Minister stuck to the development line at the BJP's National Executive today, outlining a new mantra of empathy and restraint for his workers. Party President Amit Shah, however, raised the pitch on an issue that may polarize Western Uttar Pradesh again, much like Muzaffarnagar did in 2014. That's Kairana, a small town that the BJP alleges is where Hindu families have fled in fear of the Muslim majority, a charge that the Samajwadi government is saying is a blatant lie. So what is Mission Uttar Pradesh going to be about really? Development or polarization or both?
कैराना के अंदर जो पलायन हुआ है उसको उत्तर प्रदेश की जनता ने हल्के से नहीं लेना चाहिए।
सरकार हमारी है, समाजवादी लोगों की सरकार है। आज हम पे उंगली उठा रहे हो। आपके यहाँ भी घटना हुई है, बहुत सारी घटना हुई है। मैं समझता हूं हमने अभी तक उंगली नहीं उठाई।
Kairana in UP's Shamli district, now the site of an all-out battle between the Samajwadi Party government and the BJP. After BJP MP Hukum Singh claimed that 346 Hindus have left the Muslim-majority village fearing violence, and the NHRC gave notice to the SP government. The district administration has found in a door-to-door survey that most families left the area 10 to 15 years ago. 13 families are still here. 4 people in the list are dead. And 35 families left Kairana in search of better jobs in Haryana's industrial belt. The voices on the ground, a far cry from what the BJP claims about Kairana being the new Kashmir.
और हम उत्तर प्रदेश की जनता को आश्वस्त करना चाहते हैं कि उत्तर प्रदेश को हम कश्मीर नहीं बनने देंगे।
The BJP claims they will release another list with more names of those who have fled from this predominantly Muslim district. The district administration of Shamli, on the other hand, says they have received complaints from Kairana villagers asking them to take action against those who are causing unrest in the area. With elections just around the corner in the state, Kairana is becoming the latest flashpoint in polarization politics of the state.
With Tonema Biswas in Kairana, Soumya Menon, NDTV.
Well, what exactly does this mean for the elections in Uttar Pradesh? Clearly, the stakes have been raised as far as this Kairana story is concerned. We've heard BJP President Amit Shah make a reference to it prominently, not once but twice, in the course of the National Executive and the Allahabad rally that the BJP subsequently held in the last couple of days. Joining us on the program tonight, we'll be joined by Sambit Patra, national spokesperson of the BJP shortly from Allahabad. Also, Madhukar Jaitley, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Priyanka Chaturvedi of the Congress joins us. Shahid Siddiqui and Sharat Pradhan are two journalists joining us this evening. Shahid Siddiqui, to you first. It's interesting that we're seeing the BJP raise this issue on Kairana on one hand, and you have the party president talking about Kairana, but you have the Prime Minister focusing on his new mantra for his workers, focusing on development. Do you believe that this is going to be a dual campaign, development and polarization?
That has always been the case, and in UP especially, I think that will be there. That Prime Minister will talk of development, Mr. Amit Shah and others will try to polarize, and unfortunately, Kairana was a part of Muzaffarnagar till very recently, so it's not far from Muzaffarnagar. Till now, nearly 30,000 people who were thrown out of their villages have not been able to go back to their homes. They are still out of their homes after so many years. And to talk of exodus and talk of turning this into Kashmir, I think is extremely dangerous for the country and for the state. So BJP again is trying to flare up, trying to hype it, trying to play with fire, and it will be not just bad for UP, not just bad for Hindus or Muslims, it will be very bad for politics. Yes, there are criminals, and criminals are equally bad for Muslims and Hindus, and many Muslims have also left. We can prepare a list of a huge number of Muslims who have shifted to Delhi, to East Delhi, to other places for so many reasons. Same thing has happened with Hindus. Maybe a few because of the criminals, but mostly to find a better prospect in life, better business, better development
Okay,
in
so
various parts
let me take
of India, especially Delhi.
Shahid, let me take what you're saying to Sambit Patra. Shahid Siddiqui is saying it's a dangerous game that the BJP is playing. You're playing with fire by what he says is an exaggeration of the issue and what has happened in Kairana. Now, Sambit, you know, when you look at the list that was submitted by the BJP MP of the families who left, 35 families went in search of a better job. This is what reporters have found while going there, what the SDM has found while going on a fact check door to door. Most of the families on that list left 10 or 15 years ago. 4 people on that list are dead. And, you know, 13 families are still there who are on that list as having, you know, been having said to have left. So, is there a bit of an exaggeration here about what is going on in Kairana?
Let me begin by answering this way, that as far as the agenda of Bharatiya Janata Party in Uttar Pradesh is concerned, in the Uttar Pradesh election is concerned, let no one be confused. The agenda is only one and singular, that is development, development and development. As far as the issue of Kairana or Mathura is concerned, why? We are the main opposition party in the state. Are we not supposed to take up the issues of lawlessness in the state? We had seen the case of Mathura. Since 2 years, Bharatiya Janata Party had been speaking about the issue of Mathura. No one was heeding attention towards it. And what was the end result? We have seen 2 people dead, 2 important officers dead, and we have seen 29 people losing their lives. Similarly, in Kairana, if there is some sort of data in front of us, in a democratic country, if we have viewed a concern, why should that be seen as a dangerous precedent? Let me give you an example. In case of Dadri, whatever happened to Akhlaq was absolutely wrong, was condemnable. It happened to a singular family. It was atrocity against a family. It raised a debate, a nationwide debate. In fact, I would say international debate rather. What's happening in Kairana? Maybe there are few families, the data which has been submitted by Hukum Singh, even Hukum Singh has agreed that few families about which he has spoken, maybe they have left about 10 years ago or 15 years ago. But if 346 families are the subject of talk, if 10, 20, let's discount 40 families even if we are talking about 200 or 300 families, if they have faced atrocities, shouldn't they be discussed? Why this double standard? Why religion stands on the way of discussing rights of people?
When you talk to people on the ground in Kairana, most of them are saying that yes, there are criminal elements here. It's not a communal problem, A. B, it appears that most of the families actually did leave more than 10 years ago. You have as many as 35 families on that list submitted by the Honourable Member of Parliament who actually left in search of a better job and say that they did. 13 of those families that he mentioned in his list are still living there. So the question is the BJP raising the pitch on this issue because it's Western UP, and you will talk about development, Mr. Modi will talk about development, but you will have MPs like Hukum Singh, like Yogi Adityanath who will raise the other issues, who will raise the polarizing issues.
Not at all. As far as the issue of Kairana is concerned, I was hearing Mr. Hukum Singh's interview and he categorically stated that let's not see this whole thing with the prism of communalism. No. He said let's evaluate the lawlessness that's existing on the ground today in Uttar Pradesh. In this particular area of Kairana, 10 people have been killed because of extortion demands. 10 people. And these are all on records. So if 10 people have been killed and these families have left the area because of the fear instilled in them, what's wrong if the rights of these people are taken up? I believe the only issue is they belong to a particular set of religion. Had these same people belong to the other set of religion, let me give you an example before I conclude my statement. There was one lady called as Mishba Qadri. She lived in Mumbai and she said that since she is a Muslim, no one agrees to give her a rental home. It became a big issue of discussion in the morning, and by the evening everyone came to know of the fact that the story was totally different. The story was pulled down. Similarly, over here we have 200 families, more than 200 families.
But you're immediately giving it a communal color when you talk of them as Hindu families. Many of them who say they've left not for communal reasons, but because they left on their own accord. But I do want to ask Mr. Madhukar Jaitley of the Samajwadi Party. At the same time, Mr. Jaitley, the National Human Rights Commission found the Kairana situation worthy enough to take note of and send the SP government a notice just a couple of days ago asking what has happened there. So if the NHRC is taking notice, it must be something serious. You can't just wish it away as a blatant lie by the BJP.
Nidhi, let me tell you, let us go in perspective of Mr. Hukum Singh, who Mr. Hukum Singh is. Mr. Hukum Singh is the member of the Parliament of Bharatiya Janata Party, who was then the MLA of Kairana district, Kairana constituency, who was responsible for inciting the Muzaffarnagar violence also. He was also charged by the government in the case against him, in which the investigation was carried out, and he was one of the people accused, and he was found guilty also. Now the fact of the matter is that the list that he has submitted of 346 families, out of which 68 families have left 10 to 15 years ago. 13 families are still staying there. 4 people have died, and the rest of the investigations are being carried on. I have the list of these people of 119 families signed by the district magistrate and the SP of Shamli, verified the families, and the rest of the families will verify till tomorrow. If the Human Rights Commission or any organization has issued a notice, we will give the reply to the government and to the Human Rights Commission in letter and spirit, and we will prove that all the allegations that have been levelled by the BJP MP are not only false, but they are misleading. And we will not allow any kind of action to be taken by the BJP and to mislead the atmosphere of the state anymore.
But Mr. Jaitley, I'm asking you about the NHRC notice, because the NHRC will not send a notice if it doesn't believe that there is, there's no smoke without fire, as they say.
So let it send. If somebody has complained to NHRC, Nidhi, we will reply. We will reply, and we have submitted a report. The district magistrate and the SP of the Shamli district has verified the names of the families. And the rest of the names we are verifying till in the next 2 days.
So let me ask Sharad Pradhan. Sharad Pradhan, do you see a familiar pattern here? As Shahid Siddiqui was saying, it happens all the time. And you see a repeat of Muzaffarnagar?
Well, it is very clearly evident that, it starts, it's good. Let's go back to Ayodhya. The problem is that Ayodhya has lived its vote potential. So BJP has been looking for all along for some or the other way to polarize the election. And it suits the Samajwadi Party also fine, because it suits them as well on the other side. So they tried this love jihad, they tried ghar wapsi, then it came to beef politics. And now as elections are getting closer, I am sure these kind of issues will be hyped by the BJP in order to polarize. And this is, remember, this is Muzaffarnagar. This district, Shamli, has been carved out of Muzaffarnagar. And Western UP have succeeded in polarizing in the last 3 years. So they want to keep it alive. In order to keep it alive, this is what is being raised. I see no reason to even term it as any kind of exodus of people. No, this is a kind of migration which takes place anywhere. It would take place in Lucknow, it would take place in Delhi or Bombay or anywhere,
correct,
any other city. I myself verified there are people who have gone, and today the Indian Express carries a story which has even Muslims who have left the place. So where is how can to compare it with Kashmir is undermining the problem of the people of Kashmir. Absolutely. It's a shame that they are comparing it to Kashmir. Kashmir is a very serious, that exodus is a very serious case.
Sambit wants an opportunity to respond before I go to Priyanka. Yeah, Sambit.
No, my only concern is, let's discount 100 families from the 346 families. Even if a single family faces the atrocity, and I tell you, Nidhi, since I've been participating in this debate, since the last 5 days in many of the channels, I have been privy to what these families have been saying on camera. And they said on camera, I have witnessed what they have said, and that has been aired in national channels, that they were absolutely fearful. There have been horrible atrocities against their women in their village, and they have to flee for their lives. So naturally, even if a single family faces all this, should we not be debating and questioning? Why does this become a shameful act? As I was hearing Mr. Sharad Pradhan saying that this is a shameful act on part of Bharatiya Janata Party.
I'll tell you why.
I don't understand how this becomes a... Sir, let me complete. As far as the credibility of Samajwadi Party government, when it says that, well, we will look into the whole issue, we have been inquiring about the number of families, all this stands false. Let me remind you, when we were accusing Ram Vriksha Yadav a few months ago, the same Samajwadi Party people used to say, he is a Lokatantrik Sainani. And you know, Nidhi, that they were giving this Ram Vriksha Yadav a Lokatantrik Sainani pension. He was a hero for them. And today, suddenly, after exposure in Meerut, they have no face to hide. They are running helter and skelter. So naturally,
let me take a point
as far
that
as the
you made.
credibility of Samajwadi Party's question is concerned,
Let me take a point that you
don't
made
trust
to the
them.
Congress as well, that if there is an NHRC notice, Priyanka, and going just beyond what the BJP is saying, Sambit makes the point that why shouldn't it be raised? Why shouldn't it at least be probed and investigated about why this is happening? There may be actually families, and I can't speak for them, there may be a lot of families who do genuinely feel, the reasons that Sambit is citing, and for those reasons that they have left, at least the ones we have talked to say something else, but there may be many others who don't. Why shouldn't it be probed?
Absolutely. No one is doubting the fact that such complaints, if they are coming, they need to be probed. But when you start comparing it to Kashmir exodus and you start making comparisons and trying to gain political opportunity out of it, that is when the question arises in your head that is this being done for political benefits? Now we need to understand the history of Uttar Pradesh and Bharatiya Janata Party. Bharatiya Janata Party has always worn a mask of development whenever they talk in terms of Uttar Pradesh, and Narendra Modi ji was speaking for India. But once you take off the mask, the reality is creating divisions so that it benefits the Bharatiya Janata Party. It's exactly like the mask of Bharatiya Janata Party running the government, but it is actually in reality RSS who's running the show. We have seen it happen in Muzaffarnagar. We have seen how Sadhvi Prachi and all these people are propped up before any election. Sambit talks about concern for such people. How come their concern arises only around election time, and during the 5 years of the government, they have no such questions coming? Muzaffarnagar happened just before the general elections happened. Post Muzaffarnagar, we are now seeing all these tensions arise, whether it is a Yogi Adityanath, whether it is Sadhvi Prachi. Let's also not forget that Sadhvi Prachi had got a ticket given by the Bharatiya Janata Party to contest the UP Assembly. Probably she'll be given a ticket again.
Which
so
brings
this
me
is
to
what
my
they do. You have Mr. Modi. Mr. Modi, who talks about development, and you have Amit Shah's and Sadhvi Prachi's and Yogi Adityanath who talk about Kairana.
Shahid Siddiqui, it's the good cop, bad cop routine. And what really works in UP is my question. I mean, we've seen Western UP in particular so badly polarized, particularly in 2014, and now perhaps this place Kairana is heading the same way. What's going to work in UP?
Unfortunately, UP has suffered because of communal and caste politics for the last 4 decades. Both Mandal and Kamandal has destroyed UP, and UP has not allowed it to develop. It was one of the most developed states at the time of independence, but today it's one of the worst states, and it has produced most of the prime ministers, but it has been a victim of politics all along, and it has to somewhere reject this kind of politics. And unfortunately, I agree with Sambit Patra that even if one family has to leave because of law and order situation, it is terrible. But at the same time, I will request my BJP friends to stand up for those people who have been thrown out of their homes. Mr. Sanjay Balian, one of their ministers, has been actively involved even today not to allow these Muslims to go back to their homes. And all those who are accused of rape of so many women, they have not been arrested. Their Samajwadi Party has failed. So there has been some kind of tacit understanding between Samajwadi Party and the Congress, and the BJP, as it was before the Lok Sabha election. It's even now.
That
so
question,
that is
the question of the SP's complicity,
and that's why Samajwadi Party is equally responsible. They are the government there.
It has been a fixed match since Ayodhya days.
So Madhukar Jaitley, a fixed match, and it's something like Priyanka Chaturvedi said. We've been hearing about it for years.
Nidhi.
It suits Mulayam Singh Yadav one way, it suits the BJP the other way.
But Mr. Jaitley, why the rapists have
not
been arrested till
This is
today?
a misconception.
This is a misconception. In fact, most of the cases, we have not pursued. And in most of the cases, people have gone scot-free. All those who were responsible have gone scot-free in Muzaffarnagar.
Okay, Mr. Jaitley, answer that.
Nidhi, just can I come in before I leave?
Okay, Sambit has to catch a train, so I'll give him a chance to respond before he goes.
This is a misconception.
Mr. Jaitley, give him 2 minutes before he goes.
This is a misconception.
I'm so sorry, I have to rush for a train.
He has to catch a train.
I strongly refute this allegation.
Give him a second.
The fact of the matter is that all those people against whom cases are filed were charge sheeted and the matters are pending in the court. If the matters are taking a long time in the court, the government is not responsible for that. The second reason which I am saying is, that no further any BJP leader will be allowed to play in the hand with the communal situation of the state.
Well, it's happened
Can
in
I
Muzaffarnagar,
please-
it's happening again. Sambit, yes.
And we will not allow any kind of communal
Sambit, please
activity
go ahead.
to flare
Can
up.
you all allow me
This-
my
this-
quick 20
this-
seconds, sir,
Yes,
before...
This
Go ahead.
design of
Sambit,
the
go ahead.
thing
Mr. Jaitley, one moment.
has been exposed.
All right.
And we will
Sambit
come up with
Patra.
the remaining list of people
Let's
out of which
maintain
we have,
some
we
law
have
and order in the
119
debate, at
families. We have
Sir,
verified
Mr. Jaitley,
119
Mr. Jaitley,
families.
order in the
request you.
debate,
We
at
have
least.
Give us a
verified
minute.
119 families.
Okay.
And the
I'll
rest
come
we
to
will
that.
situation
verify
on the
in the
debate,
next
at least.
2-3 days.
Okay, okay, Sambit, go ahead.
See, as far as
Law
the
and order
Muzaffarnagar
situation
issue
is
is
absolutely
concerned, it
under
has been
control.
brought
It
in.
is you who
Sir,
are trying
can
to
I
spread canards
please-
against the
can I
Samajwadi
please
Party, and we
speak?
will not allow any canard
Can
to
this
be
Gunda
spread
Raj
further.
stop? You all not allowing an innocent man to speak? Yes. Now, number one, as far as Muzaffarnagar is concerned, because it has been brought in ample number of times in this debate itself, let's visit the verdict of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court itself said that the Samajwadi Party government's lackadaisical administrative approach and the central government then, that is the UPA's failure of intelligence, was the one which was responsible for Muzaffarnagar riot. So let's not drag
Are
the
you
BJP
talking of the
unnecessarily into
are you
Muzaffarnagar
talking of
riot.
the MPs
Sir,
MPs
can I
list of people
complete?
who have migrated, or are you
Sir,
talking of
can I
the 2-year-old
complete? Can I
Muzaffarnagar report?
complete?
Mr. Jaitley,
Sir,
please
can I
let him
complete?
finish.
Can I
Please let
Please,
him finish.
please talk
Second.
of, don't talk
Second.
about history.
Sir, can
talk
I
about
please
the present.
complete? And I'll tell you something, Nidhi,
Yes.
on a larger perspective, let me tell you something. I mean, well, everything should be investigated. If there are 346 families that has been spoken, it's good that you have sent a team which is looking into all this. But I tell you, Nidhi, from the heart of my hearts, and you would realize it's truth. Had it been 346 Muslim families, I'm not trying to differentiate, but I'm just trying to point towards
But
the
you are
double
differentiating.
yardsticks that we have been using.
What is the credibility of
I'm
the
just
list
giving
that
you an
Hukum Singh,
example.
who's a member
But
of
none
parliament,
of it
has?
is
Can I
differentiating.
please
So many
complete?
parts
Can I
of the
just
list
are
complete
wrong.
10 seconds?
So many
Can I
parts
just
of Hukum
complete my 10
Singh's list
seconds,
are
and then you
just
all
wrong,
can pounce on me?
are factually incorrect.
Just 10 seconds.
Yes.
Just 10 seconds. Misbah Qadri, a woman in Mumbai, came
Sambit,
up
you're the
and
one
said
making the
that she's not been
differentiation on
given a home in
religious lines.
Mumbai.
Misbah Qadri
No,
taking up
just
only
a
one
second,
day.
let me complete this. Let
Yes.
me just
Why
complete
are
this
we
10
being
seconds.
repetitive?
Coming up and saying that she has not been given a home in Mumbai because she's a Muslim. You all ran stories across the
Sambit
day
Patra,
without verifying
why
what the
does
truth was.
why does
And when the
MP
truth
Hukum
came out,
Singh's list
none of you
have so many
none of you
discrepancies?
wanted to apologize.
Why does this list have so many factual discrepancies? That's
I am
the question.
surprised
If he
it is
had
MPs
economic
list-
perceived
Yes, those
that
issues
the
cannot
Human
be
Rights
debated.
Commission
His facts
would
are
not
wrong.
have sent for
Sambit,
would
don't
not have
compare
sent
it to
for an
Kashmir.
answer.
That is my
That the
request.
Human Rights Commission has
It is-
taken
it is-
has taken an account of
Okay.
it.
You are
doing
means
injustice
that
to
there
the
is
Kashmir
more
Pandits.
than
has to go and catch a train.
And to this
Nidhi,
Let me
country.
give a last
Yes,
word
I
to
have I have to
Sharath.
rush, or else I will miss
Yeah,
my
yeah.
train.
Sharath
Thank you
Pradhan.
so
Sharath
much.
Pradhan. Yeah, go ahead, Sharath.
Yeah. Well, you know, that the very fact that you pointed out the discrepancies reflects the fact that the BJP, the entire motivation behind this is what we can see. And I can tell you, I repeat that as elections come closer, they will be doing more of this, which is very unfortunate. And the fact remains that Samajwadi Party does not take suitable action because it suits them also fine. This polarization of politics works both ways. And unfortunately, you know, in this case, it is very clear that Kairana and Shamli they are known as the Wild West. This Western UP is known as the Wild West. Nothing is being done to control, and even BJP doesn't talk about it. And let me also correct Samvit. Samvit and his party never raised the issue of Ram Vriksha Yadav all along. They are lying that they talked about it. And with the result, this Mathura situation, the local MP Hema Malini never raised the issue in parliament. There seems to be some kind of a tacit understanding or whatever. But on these issues, they never make it. It is only when it becomes communal, when they want to give a communal color to it, because that gives them the politics of polarization, the
and
vote
can you
politics.
imagine-
That is the unfortunate part.
Can you imagine we're still so many months away from the UP polls? They're due early next year. This is the beginning, I'm afraid, of a very long, drawn out and possibly extremely ugly campaign.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much to all
very
of you
ugly.
for joining us tonight. Thank you. Many more discussions on this, I'm sure, in the weeks and months ahead. We'll see you again tomorrow night. Goodbye.